everyone, and welcome to the stream. So today I figured take another break from abduction because I'm gonna go ahead and just look at it with a clear head next week. So yay! So I found this game called Burn Me Twice on Steam. It is free, by the way, and I like witchy stuff, so I figured, why not? So, let's get into it. Shall we? I don't even have progress, so believers, raise your torches, for there's a witch among our ranks. Light the pyres. Burn the heathen. I couldn't fully read that. Ooh, Plague Doctor. Are the preparations ready? There's no need to be so impatient. Everything's going smoothly. That's for me to decide. Hold up your end of the bargain first. Still suspicious? Everything will be fine. You'll see. I've already waited too long. I want results. Oh, you'll get them. Even before the long night ends. It's time to raise the curtain. He who lies forgotten in the prison of blood and bone shall heed my call. He'll sow the seeds of discord into the world, which he shall raise it with fire, leaving behind a death. I couldn't fully read that, and I'm not gonna finish reading any because of how fast it goes. And through witchcraft no less. We know that feats such are possible through magic, but accusing Dr. Fausto is a very grave matter. Dr. Fausto is an honest, hardworking man. I don't think he is guilty of anything. Nobody will believe you just like that, witch. You better show us some evidence that may prove a connection between Dr. Fausto and the plague. All we have is the hat. The hat? How is this related to the case at hand? A wonderful show of your ability, witch. If only you had explored the cursed slums more thoroughly, maybe you would have found the proof you need. If this goes on, I'll be forced to have you burned at the stake before this trial is over. Back at square one, it seems. Is Dr. Fausto responsible, or is he not? Lady Abigail, I will ask you again. Do you have any evidence that may prove Dr. Fausto's guilt? I couldn't finish my investigation. This is a waste of time. I grant you a last chance to prove your usefulness, Lady Abigail. Maybe one of the townspeople have seen or heard something strange lately. Have you found any worthwhile testimony? I swear I wrote some testimonies on a piece of parchment, but I seem to have misplaced it. I see that the witch did not care to talk with civilians. This tribunal determines that there is no conclusive evidence which may prove the accusations made by Lady Abigail von Hattenhartz. Dr. Fausto Ulcer is innocent in the plague but a fleeting epidemic. For you, Lady Abigail, may the holy flame purify your corrupt soul, and the great Lady of Light pardon your sin. Okay, where did we end up? It can be ironic, can't it? You, being consumed by flame, listen to me. You really desire this to be the end of your journey? Let's do I need another chance. Wise choice. You're dead, but I've brought you here to offer you a gift. I can take you back in time if you so desire. It could be a chance to mend your errors. Tempting, is it not? What do you want in exchange? You're cautious, aren't you? All I ask for is to be your shadow. To witness all your feats and failures, see for myself if you're worthy of my to accept. It's a deal. So you can't fall back on me now, Witch of the Abyss. Now, just as I promised, let us go back to a time when you could still save your life. Learn from your past errors and change your fate. You'll only die when I ask you to from now on. I've been trying to see my future for days, but I can't see anything. Get back, witch. Do not come any closer. Witch of the Nocturian Kingdom, you've made a terrible mistake by crossing the border. You thought you could hide from the Inquisition? You're very far from home. We, the Kingdom of Saint Lunaria, do not tolerate the presence of witches. I'm afraid that your fate is to burn at the stake, as have the others. But first, could you tell me your name? You call me Abigail. Abigail von Hattenhartz, right? Yes. I know who you are. I have my sources. I formally welcome you to Destinburg, our little border town. I was going to order your execution for this very night, but it seems your luck. A new outbreak of the plague has appeared in the cursed slums, very similar to the one we dealt with 20 years ago. My inquisitors are worried of catching it while they investigate its source, but witches like you are immune to sickness. Let's make a deal. If you can find the cause of this outbreak, I will set you free and let you return to your kingdom. I will order one of the inquisitors to supervise your investigation. Once you've found all the clues, talk to him to present your findings in court. That's all. We have arrived at the hospital. Dr. Foster Ulcer is a very respected individual. He is the only doctor in these parts after all. Look for him. He'll be able to explain what the plague is far better than I could. When you're ready, talk to me again to go to the cursed slums and investigate there. I'm not going to lose sight of you, witch. This job is a guaranteed promotion. A large variety of kitchen utensils seems to be of great quality. I can't see what's inside, but it smells wonderful. Who in their right mind would leave all this food here? At this rate, those steaks are going to be as stale as a shoe. Guess when they turn white means I've already looked them over. What do you want? Is something the matter? Nausea? A headache? Alright, hold on. I tried using a controller, that doesn't exactly work. The field looks beautiful tonight thanks to the full moon. The door is closed. There's someone inside. I see nurses have begun wearing those scary-looking dark gowns. Do they really protect against the plague? I'm sorry, but I have no time for chit-chat. I have patients to attend to. The patients infected by the plague are just behind that curtain. It gives me the creeps. The doctor says he's going to extract some of my blood again. nurse, could you fetch me a jar of water and my ginger pills? Cough. Stay away, you could get infected. Watch out, for death wanders about. He's completely lost it. Seems like a sort of offering, maybe for the victims of the plague. I need cough. Rest. I feel so weak. It helped me cough. This patient doesn't move. In this hospital wing, we treat patients who suffer from the plague. We can heal them, but only if they get here on time. I heard you witches are immune to illness. Lucky bunch, huh? Don't rush me. Soup's almost done. I'll serve it soon. Huh? Hello? I thought you were Celine, my boss. Are you a visitor? I'm afraid I can't help you. I have a lot of work to do around here. Sorry. I quickly pressed that. But if you're looking for Celine, you'll find her in the chapel. I swear she prays more than she cooks. The chapel is at the end of the hospital. You can't miss it. I have to go back to work now. Sorry, but I can't help you anymore. Okay. Always on time, aren't you, Abigail? The spirits told me you'd come, and I see you've delivered. She is waiting for you. She wants to guide you through this confusing road. They need you, Witch of the Abyss. Use your powers and fulfill your calling. I have no idea how I'm supposed to do that. Because, doesn't really give us any information on keyboard. I am completely at a loss on it. So I'm gonna actually quickly look it up. I'm just gonna leave it on this. Okay. Alright. Well, I wasn't really receiving anything. So I'm just gonna play around with these. Oh, so it's F. Greetings, Witch of the Abyss. We were expecting your arrival. Welcome to the realm of the dead, where souls wander. You may seek the help of any spirit on this realm. But first, you need to talk to the saint. She awaits you. One of us will guide you to her. I wish you good luck. Follow me, Witch of the Abyss. Take you to the saint. She's waiting inside. Good luck. The statue of the Inquisitor. The statue of an Inquisitor Knight. That armor must weigh a ton. A book of fairy tales. It's about two children who get lost in the woods and get attacked by a witch. A cradle with carved in words that read, Mara, our dear daughter. You're here. We can finally get acquainted. I am she who wandered this plane long before anyone else. The oldest of souls, revered by the others. Revered, sorry. And you are the Witch of the Abyss. Your existence ethereal, for yours is the blood of Charon. He's the reason you can roam this realm. But we don't have much time. We must be swift in our discussion. Justinburg is no ordinary town. Something sinister stalks street, and it's your duty to stop it. I wish to guide you through your doubts and show you that which cannot be seen. A witch's powers is linked to a curse, and I know that yours keeps you from visiting this realm for long periods. But now, more than ever, you need to pay attention to the moon on your hat while on the realm of the living. For it will shine brightly whenever you're near a source of spectral energy. A reminder that you are never alone, Witch of the Abyss. This place is a forgotten one, an echo of a distant memory. Some places die, just like people do. Dr. Fausto destroyed this room many years ago, so it exists in the realm of the dead now. Justinburg is a very ancient town. You're bound to find other hidden locations like this one if you look for them. I wasn't expecting that question. You've been here before. after all. You're the Witch of the Abyss, aren't you? Whenever someone with unfinished business dies, their soul becomes trapped in this realm. The realm of the dead is, therefore, the home of all souls who cannot rest in. No living being can enter it. You're the only exception. Now you know this place's secrets. Return to the realm of the living and fulfill your destiny. Good luck, and may the Great Lady of Light watch over you. Get out of there first. You a new one? You'll probably end up just like the rest. Nobody enjoys being near the place they died in, after all. Dr. Fausto's room. Apparently, he also lives in the hospital. Where am I supposed to place it? Back. Do you seek help? Greetings, Abigail. I hope you found the way. The spirits whispered your name into my ear, for I'm but their humble servant. Souls that wander all around us, visible to the naked eye, but as real as you or me. They're the remnants of a long dead past that refuse to fade to oblivion. You aren't so different. Farewell, Witch of the Abyss. May your ever-changing fate be favorable. Welcome to our world, the realm of the dead. Witch of the Abyss, how may I help you? Peace be with you, Witch of the Abyss. Pleasure to meet you. The spirits of Noctoria told us all about you. Welcome to Dustinburg, Witch of the Abyss. Dr. Fausto doesn't let anyone in his office. Could he be hiding? Could he be hiding something? Hospitals are pain-filled places. Contrary to what the living believe, spirits don't enjoy living in places like this. We can't see the living here in the realm of the dead, but we can still hear and feel them. Don't trust the older spirits at the chapel. They talk weird. Guess those who were religious in life stay so in death. I'm waiting for Celine to finish cooking. Her dishes are just the best. I wonder how many souls are... Only those of us who died or regretful death are trapped here. Those who die peacefully simply vanish. I wonder where they go. How strange. Oh. Just woke up. What is this place? Yeah, they got a new one. A globe with a very pretty finish must cost a fortune. I need that cube. It fits. And here I thought my bookshelves were. They even have a staircase. Seems like it's meant to store some sort of fluid, but I'm not sure as to its content. This must be Dr. Fausto's diary. I'm sure he won't mind if I take a quick look. Which entry should I read first? I'm a father. I'm the luckiest man alive. Vanessa and I have decided to name her Mara, just like her grandmother. My sweet little mouse might still be small, but I can't help but wonder how she'll be when she grows up. Will she be as cheerful and inquisitive as her mother? Maybe she'll take after me. I just hope she doesn't inherit my stubbornness. Mara and Vanessa died last night. The Great Plague got them. They're gone. Why do I bother writing these sentences while I'm still shaking? Is it a worthless attempt to stay sane? All I have now is my faith in the Great Lady. But even the most convinced of devotees can break. I know what I'm doing goes against any godly will, but there's no going back now. It took us a year, but the ceremony is almost ready. I'll bring the pails to the cursed slums. Only beggars and the homeless gather there. Nobody will suspect me. I, Fausto Osler, sorry, will finally reclaim that which the disease took from me. A plague doctor's gown. Could it be Fausto's? This monstrous machine is pumping a sort of liquid through its pipes. It smells bad. Several pails filled to the brim with human blood. Very suspicious. They are labeled for the slums. What an amazing mechanism. Fausto must be really smart. He was able to build something like this. Is there anything else here? Alright, now. So let's go ahead and... Ah, Witch, you again. What do you need? Let's go to the cursed slums. Let's go then. Don't fall behind. It's pretty cold out here. These are the famous cursed slums. They're nothing but ruins, misery, and famine here. Since there's no room for any new patients at the hospital, we've kept the ill in here. It's a quarantine zone. I'm not going anywhere near this place. You'll have to investigate by yourself. Luckily, you witches are immune to disease, right? But sometimes one can appreciate the vastness of the fog-covered troubled ocean from up here. Blast that mustached inquisitor. I can't go in and complete the preparations because seems like I'll be taking care of seems like I'll be taking care of other matters. The audacity, cough. How dare they throw us in here, cough. Do they want us to rot in filth? Excuse me, Abbott. Witch, that's right. Excuse me, Witch. As much as I'd love to stay and chit-chat, I'm afraid I'm in a hurry. Ta-ta! They say there's no place for us at the hospital. Lies, I tell you. A winged and hooded statue. It stands over a pile of human skulls. Charming. Seems like the Inquisition is using the cursed slums to isolate the sick. This can only go wrong. Deborah scares me. Sometimes I feel as if that woman can see us. I've seen two people gather around here in cursed slums, talking about spells and rituals. There's light coming from one of the windows, but the door is closed. This outbreak is similar to the one we had 20 years ago. It was discovered that the disease has been caused by a coven of witches back then. of the houses have collapsed and fallen into the sea. Cough. I was killed by the plague. Cough. But why hasn't the coughing stopped if I'm already dead? That's a good question. We always say that the business of the living doesn't matter to the dead. Obvious lie. We love gossip. I don't think anyone has been here for years. All doors and windows are blocked. A mountain of rubble where someone's home used to stand. They've abandoned me. Cough. I'm an inquisitor. There's no way I could be sick. Yeah, buddy. You're dying. I swear the Inquisition will pay once I'm out of here. Cough, cough. You ain't getting out, hon. Cough. I'm a baker. Why'd they throw me in here with these? That house has seen better days. You think there's people living there? Strange. Quite so. Oh, my apologies. I was spaced out. Wait, who are you? Wait, don't tell me. That pointy hat looks familiar. Are you perhaps Abigail von Rattenhurt, the witch we captured on the frontier? Pleasure to meet you. I'm Gaspar, a bailiff of Gustenberg's Inquisition at your service. You're probably wondering what I'm doing here, aren't you? My mustache told me there was something strange in this house. This mustache of mine is like a sixth sense of sorts, you see? It always itches when there's strange things happening right under my nose. And I've been itching. And it's been itching like crazy since I came to the cursed slums. Say, why don't you help me investigate the house? Someone has been cooking here recently. Seems like something's under the carpet. Let's try moving it a bit. You did it, Abigail. A hatch. I told you my mustache wasn't lying. Let's go down to the basement, quick. Just as I feared. Look, Abigail. That's the secret behind the plague outbreak. A blood ritual. Someone must have used that magic circle to summon the disease. But this arrangement, I wonder what it means. I wonder what the purpose of those skulls surrounding the blood circle is. By the way, shouldn't you get ready for the trial? Go talk to the guard at the cursed slums entrance already. Several empty pails. That's suspicious. They've got labels that read for the hospital. A sewn throne. I don't know if I should sit. Seems like it was built for another being. I need to see if there's any spirits in there. Okay. Done. Are there any more souls I need to speak with? Okay. A witch, you again. What do you need? Let's start the trial. We're still setting up the trial. Keep searching for evidence. Surely there's places you haven't investigated. I wonder. Go to the hospital. Excuse me, but what are you doing here? You're not accepting visitors during the epidemic. Pardon my manners. You must be the witch the Supreme Inquisitor spoke to me. I'm also Osler. Although many people in this town simply refer to me as Doctor. What do you need? Seems like a new plague outbreak. The situation is quite dire. The symptoms are the same as those from the Great Plague that came over us some years ago. The patients begin with cases of fever and coughing. They die in a matter of days if we don't treat them quickly. The Inquisition has begun quarantining the newly infected in the cursed slums, where the outbreak started. Let me write that down for you. Alright. You're back. Do you seek help? A witch's powers are always linked to a curse. And know that yours keeps you from visiting this realm for long periods. Now that I know who Mara is, I actually want to see some. Okay. I've already read it. I'll witch you again. What do you need? Get everything you need? Go to the Chamber of Ordeals so you can share your findings. I, Ulk von der Hustenberg, Supreme Inquisitor and Lord of the Mournful Lands, declare this court seeking to find out the truth, the return plague to be in session. The plague poses a threat to our peaceful ways. However, investigating without exposing ourselves is quite the difficult endeavor. Luckily, Abigail von Rattenhart, a prisoner captured on the Nocturian border, has agreed to offer her help. Which is like her immune to sickness. That's me, but was it necessary to announce my name with such grandiloquence? Silence. I forbid you of speaking without this tribunal's permission, Lady Abigail. Maybe we should ask ourselves what this disease truly is before you interrupt me. Let's see if you have been paying attention. Could you remind the court as to what the first symptoms of the plague are? Also wrote about the symptoms of the plague on a piece of paper. Check my inventory first. I see you have done your homework, witch. Coughing and fever. If they don't receive treatment on time, the patient dies. That's what the plague is. The outbreak has been too sudden. It began at the cursed slums, but it has spread to other parts of the town. It resurfaced all at once and without explanation. It wouldn't be the first time we're under attack by Coven's foul hexes. This disease could have been man-made, just like the Great Plague from 2 decades ago. What do you think, Lady Abigail? That it's true. Someone has caused this plague outbreak, and through witchcraft, no less. What? Get to the point. Who are your suspects? I want names. You heard him, witch. Who is responsible for the outbreak? Dr. Foster, you say? Interesting. Abigail von Rattenhart, the witch employed by Santa Maria's Inquisition, accuses Dr. Foster of being responsible for the plague spread in our peaceful village, and through witchcraft no less. We know that feats such are possible through magic, but accusing Dr. Foster is a very grave matter. Dr. Foster is an honest, hard-working man. I don't think he is guilty of anything. Nobody will believe you just like that way. You better show us some evidence that may prove a connection between Dr. Foster and the plague. Dr. Foster always writes down all he does very thoroughly, as shown by this diary. His diary. You should read it very closely, as Foster mentions that he has been working on a dark ceremony in the cursed slums. I don't see how this has anything to do with the case. Well, it just so happens that I investigated an abandoned house in the cursed slums, and I found the remains of a blood ritual in its basement. What? So it's true that someone performed a hideous ritual right under our noses? There's not a member of the Inquisition that has verified the existence of the cellar mentioned by Lady Abigail. This court cannot simply trust the word of a witch. I will send some of my subordinates to the suburbs to investigate that abandoned house post haste then. That won't be necessary. Inquisitor Gaspar, what do you mean? I was with the witch at that abandoned house. She's telling the truth. I've seen the basement and the remains of a howling ritual. I tried studying the invocation circle and I found vestiges of time magic. Some bastard must have performed a ritual to bring Great Plague from 20 years ago to the present. What? That's a really ancient form of witchcraft. Not many can perform it. Gaspar, do I need to remind you that you're just a bailiff? Your thoughts are not our concern. But my testimony is more than enough to validate the proof presented by Abigail, am I right? This tribunal accepts the evidence provided by Lady Abigail. But back to Dr. Fausto Osler. That diary is not enough to prove his guilt. Is there any other proof that may link him to this dreadful ritual? These blood vials should do the trick. Everyone knows that Dr. Fausto is quite fond of treatments based on blood extraction. While it's true that these pails filled with patients' blood were found at Dr. Fausto's office, I also found identical pails in the cellar where the ritual was performed. I can confirm that. Still here, Gaspar? If the blood-filled pails found at the hospital are the same as those in the cellar, could mean that Dr. Fausto is indeed responsible for the plague. Are you suggesting that he has been taking blood from his patients as an ingredient for the ritual? Dr. Fausto is the only doctor in Chestenburg. He was the only one who could enter his laboratory, which is where he kept the pails with patients' blood. We should cross-examine Dr. Fausto. He should get the chance to defend himself. I just don't understand the reason for summoning me here. I did not do anything, Your Honor. Well, if you're indeed innocent, then you have nothing to be worried about. Are you responsible for using the blood of your patients to bring back the plague? Confess. What? Of course not. Did you really expect him to say anything else, Flamel? Slander. Why are you trusting the words of a Nocturian witch? Order in the court. You're accusing me of performing a ritual at the cursed slums using my patient's blood? I've never even been to the cursed slum. So, Dr. Fausto still refuses to tell the truth. Show everyone the final piece that may solve this puzzle, Abigail. If Dr. Fausto was indeed in the cursed slum, someone must have seen him. In addition to your diary and the blood-filled pails, I've got a last piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. I know that 2 hooded figures have been at the cursed slums that collapse, and that one of them dresses like a plague doctor. They saw you, Dr. Fausto. You are the doctor who stalks the cursed slums during collapse. Can you defend yourself in any way against these arguments, Dr. Fausto? You are accused of using your patients from whom you extract blood as a treatment. All with the intention of using said blood to perform a ritual. This plague outbreak is just a powerful hex, and you are a heretic that shall be punished with the utmost severity. Confess. 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 Damn witch. Alright, I confess. I am not surprised by this turn of events. I was ready for it, in fact. I'm a doctor, not a warlock. Rituals and hexes escaped my comprehension. All I did was for my family. However, I did not perform the blood ritual. What did you say? That harpy. She said she would bring my wife and daughter back to life if I provided her with all the blood she asked. What man wouldn't gladly pay that price in exchange for a miracle? But she lied. I realized far too late. Inquisitors, I stood far too late that no magic can bring back the dead. Who did it? Who offered you such a repulsive deal? It was a witch. Nobody knows her real name, though she has as many as there are people in this world. But she is here, in Dustinburg. Guess that explains who the other suspicious figure you met up with was. And where is that witch? You'll never find her. She has been observing you for a long while. Particularly you, Lady Abigail. She wants you. Alright, there's no reason to continue this ordeal. Bailiffs, take Lady Abigail back to her tower. Her execution has been postponed. Roger. You didn't actually believe you would be set free, right, Lady Abigail? Our order was a hoax from the start. No Inquisitor would negotiate with a witch, after all. As for you, Dr. Fausto, may your bindings to the material world be released at the gallows. The great Lady of Light pardon your sins. I asked you to capture Abigail, not have her do your dirty work. Keep your nagging. The witch could be useful in the end. You sent her directly to my den. You could ruin my plans. You mean our plan. How was I supposed to know that the plague was your doing? Didn't even know of your agreement with Dr. Fausto. What else are you hiding, witch of deceit? The plague was just an accident, a blood ritual gone awry. That's why I need Abigail. I'm only turning a blind eye to your crimes because you promised you would make me young again. What the fuck? Why? Nobody remembers my glorious days in the army. Now I'm fragile and can't even hold the quill properly. I wish for youth, but not if it means suffering for my people. I don't know if I should keep helping you or just order for your head to be put on a pike. Do not threaten me. My den is filled with Inquisitors investigating the ritual because of you. I can't go back to the cursed slums. So I will take this opportunity to find the relic you guard in Hollowfield. The power of the Holy Tear could ruin everything. Meanwhile, use Abigail however you please. What if she escapes? Don't worry, I'll be watching her. Well, that's a turn of events. Pant. Oh, the great lady. What's the need for all these stairs? So this is your cell, Abigail? Narrower than what I imagined. Oh, but where are my manners? It's been 3 days since the whole Fausto situation. I hope you were able to get a good rest. So it seems, sadly, you won't be getting the freedom you were promised. I'm not fond of what he did, but you were kinda naive. We don't negotiate with witches here in Lunaria. But well, I'm not here for idle chit-chat. Ulrich sent me because we have yet another mystery on our hands. A murder at Moonlight Bridge. What does that have to do with me? It's me, the Inquisition doesn't normally employ witches while investigating normal murders. Why don't you ask Ulrich when you see him? Moonlight Bridge crosses over the rift and connects Hollowfield and the Cursed Slope. Some say that if you listen closely while on that mystical landmark, you can hear the voices of the dead. Your puts my mustache in a twist. Well then, enough chit-chat. If you help us solve the case, I will try to talk to Ulrich about being less severe with you. Oh, I almost forgot, you have permission to rest this time. You can go to your bed whenever you like and rest until collapse. I'll wait for you at the main square. Come when you're ready. They captured you too? Tough luck, you won't get out of here alive. The spirit of a librarian who served the Inquisition awaits at the library. He was so fascinated by witches that he even visited the Nocturian Kingdom to get to know them. But he was burned at the stake when the Inquisition found out. Ugh. Knight Uther Lion-Guard, First Inquisitor and Guardian of the First Saint. May his memory be forever blessed by the radiance of the Great Lady of the Light. This door leads to the Chamber of Ordeals, but it's closed. I must confess that I've always been fascinated by the mysteries surrounding Nocturian witches. I can tell you all I learned in life about them. Do you know how excruciating it is to write down what a stutterer says? The worst. Oh, pardon my manners, what do you need? See you around. The Inquisitors have a huge collection of theological books. Magic overflows from this book. Must be enchanted. Which chapters shall I read? These pages are blank. Oh, you who holds this wordless book. The old pages remain white, neat and needless when closed, but answer any question that clouds the thoughts of those who read them. Beware, for this book will only show you that which you seek the most. He who awaits to return in a prison of blood and bone. He who tempts mortal and mortal alike with his gift of time. The lab. A demon who desperately seeks to be summoned. Shed the blood of Charon and use it to draw a circle. Only then will his legions of skeleton conquer the realm of the living and burn it to the ground. Good enough. Okay. Any other spirit? Ulrich's office seems to be locked, but I can hear voices coming in. Should I try and listen? What's your opinion on Lady Abigail? Good. How? Who would have thought that Dr. Fausto was connected to the plague? What about you, Flamel? What are you playing at, Your Excellency? Pardon? We normally burn witches the moment we capture them. How is Abigail different? First you let her offer her services to the Inquisition. Now you're having her investigate a common murder. Just doesn't add up. Calm down, Flamel. I have my reason. What Dr. Fausto said is true, then there's another witch on the loose. We must capture her at once. What's better than using a witch to capture another? Can't hear anything else. We've forsaken our names, for we are no longer earthly. The slightest slip, and I could end up like a witch. Like that witch. I should go back to work. This man was humiliated before being executed. The Inquisitors hung me from the gallows for stealing an apple. Apple! Very charming. In Dustinburg, it is almost always night. To find out what time of night we are in, we divide it into two parts, crescent and collapse. In honor of Lord Reinhard of Dustinburg, he reclaimed the city of Dustinburg from the Nocturian kingdom during his crusades. I dedicated all my life to discover the mysteries of the firmament. I suppose you have noticed that it is almost always night here. It is a phenomenon we call the long night. If you drink, you die. If you don't drink, you also die. So just drink. Okay. I've been waiting for you, Abigail. This is Dustinburg, our town. Small but cozy, don't you think? The artisans' district is to your left. You go to the hospital from there. And if you go right, you'll reach the Chateau Forest. The Steinberg family's manor is located there. And lastly, Moonlight Bridge is located to the south. Go further and you'll reach Hollowfield. Dustinburg is usually quite the busy town, but with the plague going around, many are afraid to leave their home. Before I let you begin your investigation, do you have any questions? As expected from the Witch of the Abyss. You're free to explore freely this time. Just don't get any ideas. We'll be watching. There is another trial to find out the culprit. Whenever you feel lost, come see me and I'll guide you. Good luck. Not now. Herman, sir, do you have any masks left? I'm the apothecary. It's a pleasure to meet you. Don't get too close, just in case, you know. Whether it's a bouquet of roses to confess love, or mums to bid farewell to a loved one, I saw all kinds of flowers. I died so young. I had my whole life ahead of me. Grimwald, that guy over there, is a total freak. Seeing him around town is quite a rare sight, especially in these. He's convinced that the plague is a serial killer who's trying to kill his mother. That's why he's locked himself at the Hollow Field. He won't let anyone in or out. Another cold one to put underground. How many did that killer get? And who's that lady that's trying to take my mama? By the saints, someone stop her. Okay. The souls of these bodies don't seem to be. They must have left. Oh, one of the plague doctors died. I worked in this hospital all my life. Hope the plague can be contained soon, for the sake of the living. Damn. For the nurses. Alright. Bar rules. Rule 1, bartender is always right. Rule 2, if bartender is wrong, see Rule 1. Okay. These are strange times. The plague is taking a toll on us. Witches roam our streets. Now a murder. Stuff like this didn't fly with the previous Supreme Inquisitor. You mean the plague? It's horrible. Those who aren't dead yet have been quarantined at the cursed slums. Those of us who, thanks to the Great Lady, are still healthy are stuck in their homes, afraid of catching it. I don't know how this will end, but I won't let it keep me from enjoying a nice beer tonight. I know as much as all the others who assisted Dr. Foster's trial the other day, young one. I know that you're a Nocturian witch, but you don't look like you're evil. It's that other witch I'm worried about. That one does seem to come straight out of hell. Jared? I knew he was one of the few clients Vesselo still had, but I only heard bad things about him. Seems like his life revolved around drinking and robbing. What scum. Okay. I wish I had time to play darts. I'd rather not go near the stove more than necessary. I've been burned enough times already. What a mess. Why do I always get stuck with cleaning duty after collapse. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that in front of a client. How may I help you? Forget what I said about our clients. It's just that it's getting a little frustrating. They announced that they managed to successfully contain the plague yesterday. So we had to deal with mass people that came to celebrate. How can they be so careless? Have they forgotten how dangerous it can be to get together? Before the epidemic is finally over? We need to actually take that information. Oh, because of what's going on now. Our own epidemic. And on top of that, the other waitresses are slacking off. So I have to deal with cleaning the tavern by myself. I hate this job. Oh, you mean Basil? He's at the storage room. He always keeps inventory during Crescent. We actually aren't open until collapse. Basil doesn't close the shop in case anyone wants to come in or out. I would offer you a drink, but the barrels are empty. You can come at collapse if you want, but I'd stay home and avoid the plague if I were you. Locked. Seems like Basil is keeping inventory. Just sign on the door. Closed at Crescent. Basil. Like I have to wait until collapse. Fausto was evil? It can't be. No. Did you hear what that the crier says? It's scary. With the permission granted by the Partian authorities, I let the people know that Dr. Fausto Ulsler has been hanged. It's a shame that that Fausto went up the deep end like that. He was a good doctor. Right. Let's see what's over on this. Ugh. Slum's plants are just the worst this time of the year. Between my allergies and the plague, this is just pure torture. What happened to that boat? Where did it sink? Alright, let's see. When I was alive, I liked to visit the Shadow Forest to get away from the hustle and bustle of the town. I still do now. Hey you, where do you think you're going? This is Steinberg property. Scram. I was not able to see him. On the silver. We Inquisitors are nothing more than tools to fulfill the will of the Great Lady. The witches and other creatures of the night burn at the same. I know what you are, so I hope you, too, shall meet that destiny. I have traveled to all corners of the world. I've journeyed both Saint Lunaria and the Nocturian kingdom. One of the perks of being dead is that you can go wherever you want. Passers-by, pay your respects, for you are in front of Moonlight Bridge. After seeing the blood of her worshippers shed during the last crusade, the grief of the lady shook the entire world. The earth was divided by the rift that now lies at her feet. And the moon became fractured, plunging us into the embrace of a never-ending night. May this sacred bridge, forged from the fallen chunks of the moon, serve as a memento of the miracles and the will of our great Lady of Light. Okay. I can't see the bottom of the cliff, but I do hear the echo of the sea. A pool of the victim's blood. The murderer wasn't discreet, that's for sure. Who are you? Where am I? What happened? I don't understand. Calm down. Nobody tells me what. And you want me to calm down? I only see strangers spouting mumbo jumbo about death and accepting my new identity. Am I really dead? All the stealing, my debts, my plans to get rich. Is it really over? And what do you want from me? It's all kind of blurry. It was really dark out. A big, terrifying shadow was chasing me across the bridge. I remember the smell of dirt. I heard a strong metallic sound right before losing consciousness. But those just can't be memories of my death. No, I can't be dead. What were you? Nothing weird, I swear. I heard somebody screaming for help at Hollow Field. It was just my duty as a model citizen to go see if I could help. Not like I could break into the Steinberg family mausoleum or something. Yes, leave me alone. I need to think. Here we are, Abigail, Moonlight Bridge. Knowing that a murder happened here is giving me goosebumps. Anyway, what are you waiting for? Go investigate. We need to find out the truth of this case by the end of this night. Not the murder. We found the body early in the Crescent. The victim was Jared and never do well known for causing nothing but trouble. His body was lying on the bridge and over a pool of blood. We've already taken the body to the hospital, but there's no trace of them. We found some muddy footprints on the bridge. Whoever left them seemed to be heading for Hollow Field. You could investigate there and see what you could find. Come on, you bodies. Get out of here. Moonlight Bridge is closed until further notice. I'm gonna go see the body. Wait. There are no stars in the sky, no fate in sight. For the last time, Grimwald, calm down. The plague is not a person, plus a serial killer. Just be a good boy and bury those bodies at the Hollow Field. You're scaring people. I'm not normally concerned with the affairs of the living, but I hope they find a cure for the epidemic. Why don't you join us when you die with the Abyss? You could abandon your name and return to nothingness. You'd be a free spirit like us. We didn't expect to see you again so soon, Witch. I'll get you on the latest stand. Just don't touch anything without my permission. This is Jared's corpse, 25-year-old male. He gives off a rather strong beer stench and his clothes are covered in mud. The cause of death was a strong hit on the head. I don't see any other relevant wounds on his body. That's all we have for now. We work better following Nurse Laura's orders than we did with Dr. Foster. Just a basin full of dirty dishes. Now that Dr. Foster is no longer with us, we nurses have taken over the hospital's management. I'm saddened to see all those bodies piled up. The hollow field can't keep up. Nevertheless, I keep my head high and try to stay motivated to keep that pile from growing. I knew you'd return, Witch. Here to mock me? That witch said the ritual was the only way of getting my wife and daughter back. She wanted to summon something, but she never told me what it was. Only the plague came out of the portal in the end. Damn that witch. She used me. You really think I'd tell you? It's your fault I'm dead. All you need to know is that she's coming. I was very skeptical in life. I always thought Mirrored fate that I could meet for my demise, but I never imagined this is what I would find. Just look at me, witch. Condemned to roam the land in the spectral form for all eternity. I felt nothing when I died, but I'm confused at the fact that one of my hands is gone. Yes, leave me be. All I want is to find my wife and my little Mar. I wonder where they aren't here for her. We will patiently await the next of the same. Glad to see you again, the Abyss. Are you looking for the saint? I'm afraid you won't find her. She vanished so she could rest. Okay. Those are mud-covered footprints. Doesn't surprise me. There was a storm last night, although they could be the culprit's foot. Grimwald the Undertaker scares easily. He heard the town folk say that the plague is killing a lot of people, so he believes the disease is to be an actual person who's trying to murder his mother. Ludicrous, right? Well, that's just the way he is. I'm afraid that Hollowfield will remain closed until Grimwald says otherwise. I don't get it. Am I dead? Why was my name on that? This part of the wall is half destroyed. If I had an object that could help me reach that hole, I could get to the other side, no problem. Is that a piece of cloth over there? Okay. So he's alive. These plants cause strong allergies to the people. They'll spread more pollen if I shake them a little. What are you doing here? You cannot enter the cursed slums. Don't you know it's a quarantine area? The number of infected keeps growing. At this rate, the cursed slums will be filled to the brim. I pity the poor bastards. I hope that the epidemic will end soon. Ow. We are not free, we are slaves, slaves to the whims of the higher beings that have created us. Hey, hey, stop, witch. Did you think you could just leave town so easily? Go investigate elsewhere before I lose my temper. Alright. If I have an idea, I'm out. Hey you, where do you think you're going? This is Steinberg practically. Scram. Really have no idea what to use that for. You may be wondering why we keep referring to the courtroom as Chamber of Ordeals. The truth is that we used to torture witches there by putting throwing in boiling water some time ago. Those were the days. Okay. Alright, let's sleep. Where'd he put my thing? Aw. Alright, well, anywho now, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all tomorrow with more of this. Bye, y'all.